Hey guys, welcome back to Ring a Ding Wedding. Alright, so as you saw in the title for today, it is our love story. So I'm going to talk to you on how my fiance and I met, how it all happened, and all that cute fun stuff. Say hi! We met in 2011. I was a little bit older and he was still finishing up his senior year in high school, so that meant I was in college. So we met on September 14th, 2011, and I went to go visit my high school, and he was a teacher's assistant in the office, and that's where I also was a TA when I was in high school. And so I went over there and I was like saying hi to all the teachers and just talking to them. And prior to all that, I went to Chipotle because I got off my campus at college early because I was able to pick and choose my schedules and I didn't have to go work that day. So I went to Chipotle and I went over to the school and I'm saying hi to everyone and just talking to them, and they're asking me how my college classes were and all of that. So, we talked for a little bit. Now the bell rings and that means people have to go to class now. And then I see this guy walk in and I'm like, oh, am I sitting in your spot? And he goes, oh, it's okay, don't worry about it. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And so I'm eating my food and he's doing his thing for another teacher instead, and he runs his admins too. And admins were pretty much like little summons for students to get out of class, to go to a doctor's appointment, maybe to see a counselor, whatever the reason. Be a note from another class, whatever. And so he was doing that and I'm eating my food, and I looked over at one of the teachers like, he looks a lot like my friend. She goes, yeah, that's his half brother. And I was like, I didn't even know he had a brother. So then she went out to lunch and I was like, hey, to my fiance, I was like, hey, did you want the rest of my Chipotle? Because I'm pretty full. And he goes, nah, I'm cool. I was like, okay. And I wasn't trying to flirt. I wasn't trying to, get at him like that. But it was just genuinely, I was full and I didn't want to waste the food and I didn't want to take it home. So before it went to waste, I went to offer it to him and he didn't want it, so that was fine with me, so whatever. So I was like, oh, what's your name? And he goes, Mikhail. And I love my fiance, but I did not catch that name initially. I was just like, okay. And I thought I heard Kyle, but that's pretty much it. And he goes, what about you? I'm like, oh, I'm Rebecca, nice to meet you. And he goes, nice to meet you too. The bell rings, I leave, he has football practice. And my thought was, I'm probably never going to see this guy again. I'm probably never going to talk to him ever again. I didn't think much of it. It wasn't like I wasn't interested, but I was just kind of like, there is probably no chance of us even dating at all. So whatever. I'm getting ready for bed that same night, and then I get a notification on my phone saying that someone sent me a message on Facebook. It turned out to be Mikhail. He goes, hey, it's Mikhail, the guy that you met earlier from school. I was like, oh, hey, what's up? And he goes, nothing, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm just getting ready for bed. What about you? And he goes, oh, I'm just eating a little bit of ice cream, just trying to relax since I had practice earlier. I was like, oh, no, that's for sure. You deserve a break. You should rest up. And I was like, hey, do you mind texting me? Because I'm about to log off Facebook, which, I mean, you can't, if it's an app, you don't really log off of Facebook, but I wasn't trying to continuously open an app when you can just text me. So I was like, here's my number, just text me. And he goes, okay. So I pretty much gave him my number the first day I met him. And again, I wasn't thinking anything of it. And I always call most of my friends doll or hun or love or girl, whatever it is. So I would just say oh, thanks, doll, or whatever it was. And it wasn't trying to be all flirty or anything. It's just how I am. And so we're talking and we're just texting, and now we're texting morning till night every day, okay, in class and every second that I got. And there were feelings that were starting to develop, and I thought it was just a little fling, because prior to meeting my fiance, I got out of a relationship and I was really hurt, and I didn't really see myself being with anyone, and you know, that whole like mushy, oh, he broke my heart, there's no one else that's going to be with me, oh, I'm gonna be single forever, pretty much all of that. And so we're texting and I hang out with him for a little bit. 12 days later, so remember we met September 14th and now it's September 26th, and he asked me out to be his girlfriend in front of his house at like 10 o'clock at night. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll be your girlfriend. And that happened. So, you know, in the course prior to our engagement, we would go to Disneyland, we would go to each other's houses, hang out, we would go to like little festivals or fairs and little activities together. And I'm not gonna lie, like there were times where we would fight a lot. I'm not going to say that our love story is like the perfect one where we never had any problems, where we never argued, because all couples do. We've had that, but it just made us stronger. We communicated a lot better, and I was really fortunate to meet someone like him. He knows I love Disneyland. I mean, everyone knows I love Disneyland. It's not a surprise. And I told him while we were dating, I was like, hey, like if I can't get married at Disneyland, I want to get engaged at Disneyland. And he's like, okay. I don't think that was like something that I thought was going to scare him off. It was just like, you know, we've been together for a long time, and you know, obviously you talk relationships with your significant other, like the future, you know. I'm sure most of you have talked about kids' names, and you've probably thought about what your colors were for your wedding, or who would be in your wedding, and your song for your wedding. Even though you probably just, you know, have been dating for a little bit, you've probably like fantasized a little thing like that. And that's what we did. We always talked about kids. We've always talked about future together and all of that. So I've, you know, after being with him for 5 years prior to getting engaged, obviously that conversation came up, and I told him that's what I wanted. Just because we go to Disneyland all the time, it just felt like a home away from home for us, and if he proposed there, it would make me happy, and it's not like we're strangers to this place, so it was nice. I remember telling my coworker Kim, and like, oh my gosh, can you imagine if he proposed? And she goes, watch, like if he's gonna like if he's not even trying to propose, he's gonna tie his shoelace, and you're gonna be like, oh my god, it's happening. And I was like, yeah, that's true. So I can't really anticipate anything, especially if we go to Disneyland all the time. I can't get my hopes up. We're fast forwarding to December 27th, 2016. I have now been with my fiance for 5 years at this point. We drove down to Disneyland the day after Christmas, and we got there, and cool, so we're there. It's December 26th, we're there. Now it's December 27th, we're going into the park, and we get there around like 9, because we normally stay at a park that's at a hotel that's half a mile away. But because it was the holidays and all that, obviously rooms get booked and rooms are more expensive. So we had to kind of go a little bit out to Fullerton, I believe. So we had to commute. So we would, you know, we got there and we parked in the Toy Story parking lot. Then we had to take a shuttle to Disneyland. So that took up some of our time. So we got inside the park at 9 o'clock-ish. And so we're there, and my fiance is not a fan of taking pictures all the time like I am. Like I would love more memories and photos, and he's kind of like, why do we have to, and all of that. So he goes, hey, do you want to take a photo? I'm like, okay, like where? And he goes, in front of the castle. I was like, all right. So we're walking down Main Street, we're passing all the stores and the restaurants, and we're going around the statue, and we're right in front of the castle now, and there's a little bit of a line, so we're waiting. And I was like, do you want to use my phone or your phone? He goes, oh, we'll use my phone. I'm like, oh, okay. And so I put my backpack down in front of the cast member who has like her camera stand up, and he puts his backpack down there. He's giving her the phone and whatever. So we're taking pictures, like smiling and looking all cute and whatnot. And then I'm about to like walk away, and my fiance was still behind me. And mind you, he was on my right hand side. And then I hear, oh my God, he's on his knees. And I'm like, oh my God, who's on their knees? Like, I'm such a nosy person. Like, who is it? I turn around, and it's my fiance on his knees. And I was like, oh shoot, that's mine. So I like walked back towards him, and he didn't have to do anything extravagant. I didn't expect like a bunch of roses and bands and all of that, and a long speech about why he loves me and why he wants to marry me. He literally just said, I love you. And I said, okay, I love you too. And he just said, will you marry me? And I was like, yeah, I'll marry you. And he puts the ring on, we're taking pictures, and the cast members like just snapping at it, and that was it. Like, it was probably the best 30 seconds of my life. But it just felt like it was just us against the world. Like, no one else was there. It was just time, I don't know, time just froze, and I just couldn't have imagined a better proposal for me. And it was just absolutely perfect. I loved it. And it's funny because, you know, as a girlfriend at the time, I would always look up like Disneyland proposals or like proposals online, and you see like a whole bunch of people surrounding this couple and everyone's like applauding them. Yeah, none of that happened for me. But again, I really just don't care. I didn't care if thousands of people saw or just that one cast member saw. Like, that was it. And I'll show some photos in here. You're gonna see like there's one guy that's kind of just like on his phone or something like that, looking all confused and just like kind of walking by. Everyone just walked by. No one really noticed that there was something magical happened. But again, I really don't care. I was happy. It was me and him, and that's all that mattered. We are engaged, and that was it. So that is our love story, how we met, how we got engaged, where it happened, and our time frame with that in about 13 minutes of this video. So that's it. And yeah, so thank you everybody for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I will post more videos probably next month for the next Ring a Ding wedding. I am debating if I want to do how I picked my colors or how I decided to pick my bridesmaids. So that's my next one. Maybe next 2 in the next couple of months. I'm also gonna see if I can squeeze in some story time videos in here so you guys can kind of like hear some of my stories, because I have a bunch that I could share with you guys. So again, please like, subscribe, comment down below. Don't be a stranger. Follow me on Twitter, and I will see you all in a little bit. I'd say next month, but I'm sure I'm going to toss out another video for you guys. Alright, have a fabulous day everybody. I love you all, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.